Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Radko from Radko Tarot, and in this whole video we're going to look into Taurus, a Sun, Moon, and also Taurus Rising weekly general tarot reading August 30th up until September 5th, 2021. And should you guys be interested in a personal reading with me, or if you do want to take my tarot classes, checking out the description down below is going to give you a link to my website where you can view and purchase either or both of these services. And as well, if you enjoy the content here on the channel and you do wish to support us, just leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you do not miss any of our weekly uploads and any of the live streams we are doing. So with that being set aside, moving straight away to the reading for Taurus, and the very first card you do have Taurus, that is going to be the Eight of Pentacles. Followed by the second card here of the Lovers, and these two guys, oh my god, if you're single, these two, how good you are, you have no idea. All right, these are the acme of finding a love around. So these two, followed by the next one, that it is the Eight of Cups. And the last one, we do have the last prime card of the spread. There are going to be four more. That will be the Magician. And so they very well fit with the love narrative. But as this is a general reading, I will also going to touch on the career experience that you're going to have throughout the week. So yeah, it's a great week to find love out there, or if you are in love, to support it and to make it grow. There are going to be few conditions for it, and how do you call it? There will be a line where it will be decided. It's either going to be make it, or it's either going to be break it. So that will be the week, okay? Let's scrutinize the reading now, and the very first card that came up, that will be the Eight of Pentacles, and it is catalyzed here with the Ten of Wands. So we do have these two passive neutrals, and they pretty much speaks that right at the start of the week things are gonna become much more easier for you to address conscientiously. And the details of your life, the details of your career, the details of your love life will become much more pronounced than before, and thus you are going to find yourself being able to answer certain questions. For example, why I cannot find any love right now, or why I cannot excel into my career. It's just those questions will come so naturally to you as an answer. And the answer will be very uplifting. What I mean here is that probably, well, I can't speak for you guys, but the way that I see that, it is that you may have thought that it takes way more than actually it would take you to excel into your career, or simply to just fall in love or find somebody to love you. The main reason is because you were focusing more on the how can I say, more on the overview, so to speak, instead of on the details. And now, as you do have that keen eye for the details of why things are not working the way they should work, or the way that you want them to work, you see that actually it's not that difficult. You don't have to fit into that many criteria, okay? And you don't have to definitely be a Superman to make a miracle. And thus, you will start manifesting either love or either a not tenacious, oh my god, what is the word? Consistent, very consistent career drive here. And right after that, the Lover's card takes place, okay, and it is catalyzed here by the Death card. So we do have a active neutrals into that particular place, and active neutrals is pretty much, it speaks that, and this is seen further into the Magician. All right, you are well, basically you are a perfect for the job, or you are a perfect for the love. It's pretty much how, this is how those two cards stand in our country. And we do, the channel had that comment that in my country we do have stupid expressions. All right, But in my country, we do say every train has their own designated passengers, okay? And for what it seems, your train just had arrived, or your ship just had arrived on the harbor. Now, these two cards here speaks that there is nothing wrong with you if you cannot find any love currently, or by that point, there is nothing wrong with you and the way that you deal with your career. It's just if things are not working well, that is primarily because of the exterior, or should I say, you're not at the right place at the right time, and that is to change. Okay, that is definitely to change throughout that week. And this is here the things branches up in terms of career and in terms of relationship. In terms of career, towards the middle of this week, you will have some major decisions to make. What to work, where to work, it is just the choice is going to be yours. But that decision, the good thing about it is that there is no right or wrong decision. It's just based on your own personal preference. So make sure you do make the decision in a way that you ain't going to regret it, because on it depends your harmony with the surroundings, your happiness, and as well resolution of many problems that you may be experiencing at that point. Relationship wise, that is the moment where you do realize, and not just only you, but the other side as well, you do realize that there is no changing each other. You are a perfect fit for one another, even if you are a opposite at that point. And these opposites, these differences, they are exactly what makes you special for each other. And that is where the true love kind of takes off. And right after that, it is the Eight of Cups, catalyzed with the Judgment. Okay, so we do have a passive neutrals at that point, and these two does speaks about the differences. No, I'm sorry, it's not a passive neutrals. These are a passive enemies actually. So just give me a moment. These are a passive enemies. Oh. It's about the expectations. These do speak about the expectations and about what a person finds as an end achievement of being successful or of being loved. I don't know how to explain it. It's so difficult. It's like the realization that you don't have to live in palace, and you don't have to you don't need a 10 cars each worth millions to find yourself or to classify yourself as successful and rich, and you don't need a prince to understand that you are happy in love. That is how these two cards are standing. It's very awkward. It is kind of like complete restructuring into the perception of what one person is finding themselves in, and it is almost like learning to love where you stand, because even though your current situations may not be perfect, these two cards speaks about the understanding that there is never anything perfect. Okay, the more closely you look into something, the more you find afflictions into it. And instead of how can I say, dwelling into these afflictions, you should look toward the overview and how happy or successful you can be into the line of work or into the line of love that you are to find yourself in throughout this particular week. So that is kind of like learning to cope with the beauty, and as well, you know, with the content that your experiences are going to bring to you, Taurus, throughout the week. Now, one thing though, guys, it all is based on your choice here with the lovers towards the middle of the week. You have the power here to either make it or to either break it. And I really hope that you will consider that parable, that the differences are going to make you special for one another, because otherwise it's just ain't gonna happen. And you may ask yourself, then why should I stick to that? Well, it is because the Magician falls at the end, and it's catalyzed with the King of Cups, I'm sorry. So we do have these two, and they do form a active neutrals. And they do speak about the ability one to like the other for what the other is, and vice versa, without the need to change each other. For the magician is loved and liked for what the magician is. Okay, and for that, you just throughout this week, you Taurus have the potential to find somebody to love you for what you are, instead somebody that loves you and they want you to fit with their narrative of life, which is the majority of the relationships these days. Okay, we're talking about an equal relationship here instead of equal and balanced relationship instead of relationship of its subjugation, meaning that throughout this relationship that you do have a chance to form throughout this period of time, the other person is not going to criticize you, is not going to ask you for explanations over certain things, and so on and so forth. They're just going to accept you for who you are. With that element of dignity here, it does predispose for some offers and for some openings that under normal circumstances would not come about. That not like they won't come about, but under normal circumstances you won't consider. And also it does speaks about some openings in terms of how you can express yourself creatively in terms of your career. Something like, you know, your boss approaches you and tells you, you know what, we don't have much of a work right now, so you do whatever you see fit, you know, and that way it gives you, or it kind of approaches you with a project and says, you know, I completely trust you, do what you see fit with that project, and you just have that room to open up and truly engrave your own personal signature as a performance into it. So with that being said, guys, this was a Taurus's weekly reading. It's an amazing week in front of you guys, and again, it is all up to you. Okay, so because the job or the career narrative seems different, because the other person seems different from what you are used to, and especially from what the hierarchy dictates, that is your cue, all right? Because they're different. So yeah, that was your weekly reading. Hopefully you do enjoy it and you do liked it, and we are to see each other next time. Until then, bye.